Hey everybody, Brian Lauer, founder of One Life Financial Group, and the title of today's video is How Much Could a Common Set It and Forget It 401k Strategy Cost You in the Long Run? Do you worry about missing opportunities to protect and maximize your 401k? If so, you're not alone. You're like many of the successful clients that we serve who just don't have the time, the energy, the tools, or the expertise to customize, monitor, and execute their 401k strategy. So what happens with many investors is they often hit the easy button. They choose the default investment option, the one that their employer chooses, and oftentimes it's a target date retirement fund. It's easy. Or they pick a mix of investments. Maybe their peers or their parents or somebody they respect helps them pick the investments in their plan. They set it and literally forget it. Again, the easy button. And oftentimes they don't revisit the strategy until just before retirement or retirement, which could potentially result in missing some significant opportunities. At One Life Financial Group, we believe that you work way too hard for the money in your 401k, and that your wealth is a tool that can help you secure your future and make the most of your one life. Yeah, pun intended for that one. So that's why we put together today's video. If it's your first time to the channel or this wealth management series, welcome. I'm having a ton of fun using some marathon stories and analogies to explore how you can get more potential mileage out of your hard-earned money. And even if you're not a marathon runner, you know that hitting the easy button in marathon training by sleeping in is probably not going to help you maximize your results on race day. So today we're going to explore questions for 401k investors. Could hitting that easy button potentially cost you in the long run by using a set it and forget it approach? So let's dive in. First, what we're going to do is I'm going to share 3 potential opportunities that both marathon runners and investors could potentially miss when using that set it and forget it approach to their training or to their 401k investment strategy. And by the way, when I say 401k, I'm referring to all company retirement plans, not just 401k plans. So if you have a 401a, a 403b, a 457 deferred compensation plan, a simple IRA, a SEP IRA, a tax sheltered plan, a TSP through the government, I'm talking about your company retirement plan as well when I use the word or the term 401k. The second thing we're going to cover today, after exploring those potential missed opportunities, is an alternative approach that both marathon runners and investors can take to work to maximize their results and to help mitigate those potential missed opportunities. Third, and finally, you're going to gain access to a complimentary 401k health checkup to see if you may be at risk of missing some opportunities to maximize and help protect your 401k. A link to that complimentary 401k health checkup can be found at the end of the video or in the notes if you don't have time and you want to fast forward. Oh, and I almost forgot. We're going to explore a question. How much could that common strategy potentially cost you? So we'll dive into those hypothetical scenarios. We'll explore it, and hopefully you can answer that question by the end of the video. And if I seem like I'm distracted today, like I'm forgetting things, talking too fast, it's because the 2024 Grandma's Marathon race is tomorrow. So literally, I'm out the door to Duluth as soon as this video is complete. And before we dive into those missed opportunities, I do have a confession to make. A year ago, for Grandma's Marathon in 2023, I used a set it and forget it approach to my training strategy. It was a printed plan off the internet, and the results weren't terrible, but I definitely didn't maximize my results. So as you'll see, I did miss some opportunities using that approach that I will reveal to you during today's video. And I did something different this time. I took an alternative approach. So let's dive in. The first opportunity that could be missed with a set it and forget it approach is a customization opportunity. So for runners, basically, their set it and forget it strategy doesn't provide customized pacing. Basically, how fast a runner can run based on their ability. And it's a really easy way to overtrain when you don't know your paces. If you go too fast, you get hurt. Or if you go too slow, you're undertraining for your race. And so you're not reaching your potential. So what I did is I purchased my marathon plan off the internet, to run a 3-hour and 30-minute marathon. That was the plan. And the problem was I didn't know what I was capable of doing, how fast I could run. I didn't do any stress tests, so it wasn't customized to my actual ability. So I ended up going out way too slow in my first marathon, but then I realized at mile 13 when I called my friend, Eric, who yelled at me, "Get off your bleeping phone, you're going too slow," I realized, like, oh my gosh, I'm capable of going faster. So by then it was too late to run my best race I was capable of, because I didn't adjust until mile 13, and I probably would not have adjusted without him. I ran 3 hours and 22 minutes when I might have been capable of running like 5 to 10% faster if I had a customized plan. So it wasn't the end of the world. I had a blast, but I definitely missed an opportunity to run my very best race. So what does all of this have to do with investors? Well, investors using that set it and forget it approach, or oftentimes a target date retirement fund that are geared to a specific year in the future, they don't use a customized strategy as well. So the problem with those set it and forget it strategies, they're not customized to the rate of return goals that you need to earn in your financial plan, which are changing all the time, by the way. So if your plan's calculated return needs a 9% return to work, and the strategy in your 401k has an expected return of 7% between now and retirement, that can lead to missed potential opportunities to implement your plan's customized strategy, which could lower your plan's probability of success, which might cause you to worry and not feel as confident in your future. Now, if you don't have a financial plan, you won't know your required rate of return, which makes it difficult to customize a 401k strategy with confidence. So many people don't have a financial plan, and they'll often hit that easy button, the set it and forget it target date fund, because they don't know what their strategy should look like. So maybe that's one takeaway for today. Get a financial plan if you don't have one. Figure out your goal rate of return, and that can help you and your wealth manager customize your strategy to target your specific rate of return goals. A second customization opportunity that can be missed with that set it and forget it approach is they're not customized to manage concentration risk. So sorry about the term, but you've likely heard, don't put all your eggs into one basket with investing, because it can be risky potentially to have too much money invested in one company stock, which is why many wealth managers and experienced investors limit their exposure to 5% in one company stock, or sometimes even less, maybe 2 or 3%. That way, if that stock goes bankrupt, the concentration risk is limited. So we're talking about not putting all your eggs or too many eggs in one basket. So what's this have to do with the 401k concentration risk management opportunity? So a scenario might help with this. Hypothetically, assume you had a grandparent, a grandfather or grandmother who passed along stock to you in ABC company, and it was worth $500,000. Let's also assume you have a 401k, and the fund manager has 3% of your entire 401k also invested in ABC company stock. Now you even have more of that stock, which is increasing your concentration risk to ABC company, which is probably a very large chunk of your portfolio if you have $500,000 in that one company. So that's the second opportunity that could potentially be missed with that set it and forget it strategy or the easy button. The manager has no clue, outside of your 401k what you own, since their strategy is typically managed just for the masses, and they can't reduce the risk associated with ABC company, even if they wanted to help you, because of their requirements to manage that strategy for the masses. All right, so the third customization opportunity that can be missed with a set it and forget it approach, a target date strategy, is you could miss out on a values-based investment opportunity if that's one of your goals. For example, I have had many clients over the last 10 years, and even more over the last 5, who have asked us if they can access sustainable investment strategies. Now, not everyone has this goal, and if you don't, that's totally okay. But a good number of clients we serve want a portion of their money invested in sustainable investment strategies, which might have lower levels of carbon emissions. It might avoid investing in companies who have been cited for child labor law violations. And very rarely do I see 401k investment options that offer access to those strategies. Now, investing in those strategies does not guarantee that you're going to get a better return. It could be worse, it could be better than a non-sustainable strategy. But not having those options in a 401k investment lineup can prevent investors with sustainability goals from using or accessing those values-based wealth management strategies within their 401k. So in summary, 3 potential customization opportunities investors could miss when using a set it and forget it approach, a target date retirement strategy, are number 1, customizing a strategy that targets your specific returns in your financial plan. Number 2, inability to manage for concentration risk. And number 3, not being able to access investment strategies that are aligned with your values.